Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we'll be discussing what comes next after the International Baccalaureate. My guests today are Dr. Agnieszka Gajewska, principal of Warsaw Montessori High School and a history teacher, and Dr. Robert Łuczak, coordinator of the IBDP International Baccalaureate program and a geography teacher. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How many countries currently offer IB programs?
IB programs are currently offered in nearly 160 countries by nearly 6,000 schools on all continents.
If we were to remind our viewers what the International Baccalaureate is, how would you summarize it in a few sentences? The
International Baccalaureate program is certified by an international organization, the IBO. As a result, it is recognized worldwide. It is a program that focuses on critical thinking skills and the ability to look at topics from different perspectives. It is quite intellectually demanding, and above all, it is a program that bridges the gap between school in the traditional sense of the word and university. It's a fusion of school, a fusion of high school with the academic community.
So let's move on to the main point of our conversation. So what happens after the International Baccalaureate? What doors does the exam open for young people? It depends on the graduates themselves, as each has individual life plans, but we can generally emphasize that students get into their dream programs. The
International Baccalaureate program, because it's certified and recognized worldwide, opens doors to virtually all universities on all continents. Regardless of whether someone is looking for technical, humanities, or artistic universities, and regardless of whether they want to study abroad or stay in Poland.
Is the IB program recognized by Polish universities?
Yes, the IBDP program is recognized by Polish universities. Our graduates apply, and can also apply, to Polish universities, and the International Baccalaureate Diploma will be welcomed with open arms at Polish universities, and Polish polytechnics. Do universities formally treat IB Diploma graduates differently from those with a standard high school diploma? Are there any differences in admissions? Yes, these formal differences are quite significant. First of all, most International Baccalaureate graduates are interested in studying abroad. The admissions process works like this. Our fourth-year students preparing for the high school diploma, but a few months before the exam, apply to foreign universities based on so-called predicted grades, what we teachers predict they will receive on the final exam. And in the vast majority of cases, after a few weeks, a month, or two, our students, I emphasize, then receive the answers from the universities. Therefore, when preparing for the final exam, when they go to take the high school diploma, they already know whether they got in or not, what score they need to achieve on the high school diploma for their application to be approved. It's a bit different for universities in Poland.
So what's the situation at Polish universities? At Polish universities, admissions don't begin until July, after the high school diploma results. Well, in my experience, this actually causes more stress for students. And the waiting time for results actually spoils their first post-matura vacation.
However, Polish universities will also, of course, accept graduates who have passed the matura exam, the International Baccalaureate exam. The IB sends matura results electronically directly to the university. More and more Polish universities are now accepting these results electronically, which reduces the bureaucracy our graduates have to deal with. I wanted to add here that even during their studies, academic teachers appreciate International Baccalaureate graduates and see noticeable differences between graduates of other types of schools and those with IB diplomas. These differences in university applications and subsequent studies, formal differences, are only one side of the coin. It seems that the other side is much more important. It's not just the diploma our graduates graduate with, but also what they learn during the 4 years of high school at Warsaw Montessori High School, during the 2-year diploma program, what competencies they leave with. Universities recognize this and see that someone who completes the IB program is equipped not only with knowledge but with a set of skills absolutely essential in the academic environment. This is very clear to all universities.
What fields do graduates of Warsaw Montessori High School most often choose?
This is a completely individual matter, but our graduates can be found at renowned universities practically all over Europe. Our graduates study in the Netherlands, at the University of Amsterdam, at the Polytechnic University of Eindhoven, at arguably the best or one of the 3 best polytechnics in Europe, namely the Polytechnic University of Delft, at the University of Groningen, and in Belgium, Spain, Italy, Padua, and Milan. They also study outside Europe. We have an alumnus studying in Shanghai. Finally, we also have graduates studying at the best Polish universities. What do you think is the level of awareness of a young person who chooses the IB program and how they plan their future? Is this truly planned, or is it subject to a certain degree of improvisation? I wanted to emphasize the fundamental difference between the Polish program and the program at our school. Students typically have to decide on their major in 8th grade. This, of course, is not easy, as 13 to 14-year-olds aren't mature enough. In our school, they spend the first 2 years learning about their strengths and weaknesses, and we also prepare them for the process of choosing subjects and selecting IB majors that will best align with their university aspirations. Our students, when choosing subjects in the diploma program, make this choice at the end of their 2nd year, and then, in their 3rd or 4th year, they pursue their individual academic path. This, one might say, shapes their profile for the next step, choosing their studies. So we have a group of students who are quite determined, have clear views on their future, quite specific dreams and plans. However, we also always have a group of students, which is quite natural at this age, whose ideas and concepts about what to do next only crystallize in 3rd, 4th, or the 2nd half of 4th grade. So, again, this is a very individual matter. A huge advantage of the International Baccalaureate program is that even if someone chooses a subject path, say one that leans more towards, the exact sciences, it in no way limits them from adapting their choice of studies to their current needs and current dreams, which may only fully take shape in 4th grade or in the second part at the end of high school. Therefore, some students in the International Baccalaureate program are very aware of what's next. For some, this program is still shaping their future, and thanks to its diversity, the content they learn, and the skills they acquire, it allows them to make good decisions for themselves, sometimes earlier, sometimes only at the end of high school. So,
the school has a real influence on young people's decisions about what studies to choose. Well,
the school influences, or does the school support young people in choosing which studies to pursue, which studies they can pursue, which studies they can pursue? We conduct several parallel activities at the school. Firstly, we are always available if anyone wants to consult with us about subject selection, which is very important. Then, after choosing subjects in the International Baccalaureate program, what can be done with these subjects? What are the opportunities? What new fields of study are opening up? Please remember that with such a rapidly changing reality, the context in which we operate, for those entering 1st grade, high school, firstly, 80% of the professions they will use, perform, they don't exist yet. And secondly, when they enter high school, some fields of study don't exist yet either. Therefore, it is our duty and our job to conduct such continuous research into what universities offer, what courses are available, what new opportunities await our graduates. And that is one thing. For this reason, we organize workshops for both students and parents, because we also strive to open them up to the new opportunities offered by the modern world. The workshops begin in the second grade. First, we prepare students to choose subject paths based on their interests and strengths, but also on their long-term aspirations and future plans. In the third and fourth grades, workshops are, of course, tailored to the next steps in the admissions process. They learn, among other things, how to write a CV and how to apply to universities. Finally, we offer meetings at our school with representatives of various universities and colleges, who can come and talk about the specifics of a given academic environment or program, present it, and engage our students. We also host meetings with our alumni, who share their experiences firsthand, explaining the decisions they made when choosing to attend university, what motivated them, and, as I emphasize, the new opportunities that are constantly emerging.
Of course, students also participate in the university fairs held in Warsaw. That's all for today. We hope we've shed some light on what happens after the International Baccalaureate. If you have any further questions about Warsaw Montessori High School or the continued educational journey of young people after the International Baccalaureate, please feel free to contact us. Contact information can be found in the description of this episode or on the Warsaw Montessori High School website. Thank you very much.